Yeah, this is Tom Meredith. I'm running for the position of mayor of McKinney, and I want to thank you all for joining us today. And we just want to have a little Q&A and get some questions from all of you residents out there in McKinney.
All right. So what we're going to do today, Tom, is we actually have some questions that people submitted through Facebook Messenger, through comments on your page, and people just want to get to know you. So there's a lot of questions on here. I'll read them off. We've got a list of them that have come in. So we're just going to kick it off and answer and go ahead and have fun. So first question is from Anna McCallie, and she wants to know a little bit more about you and like your background. She was asking for a bio. So I guess where you went to school, how you met Cleo, all that stuff. So.
Okay. All right, Anna. I was born in Fort Worth, Texas. So obviously I'm a native Texan, third generation. I've got a degree from the University of Oklahoma in petroleum land management. I've also got a master's degree from the University of Texas at Dallas in operations research. I worked in the corporate world for quite a few years for Amoco Production Company, which is now British Petroleum, and also for Verizon Information Services. And I met my wife, Cleo, in 1996 at a party in North Dallas, put on by her apartment complex at the time. And we've been married for over 23 years. We have a daughter, Allison, who's a junior in college right now. We bought the historic Hope Hardware building in downtown McKinney in 2001, along with the Pantry Restaurant, which is still in the building to this day, which my wife runs. So that's, and then we've been very involved in the community since that time.
Awesome. And then if you guys hear any construction going on, we're at the pantry right now, and the road's getting worked on.
Major work going on.
Let's put it.
It's a good thing. It's progress.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, next one. This is it was actually a comment on a video about apartments, and I think this is probably a good one to hit on. So Casey says your comments on apartments are ridiculous and they're just as safe as homes. And I think this is a really good one for McKinney to really understand what's your actual stance on apartments. Like when we talk about too many apartments, like what do you mean by that?
Right. Casey, actually, that's a great question. And I'm not against apartments. In fact, I've probably lived about 10 years of my life in apartments. And it's something that's needed by a lot of different people at different times in their life. So I'm not against apartments. But where we are in McKinney right now is we're number 2 in the country in building apartments. And we've got, I think, an adequate supply of apartments. The issue is really we're not getting enough commercial development here. We're concentrating too much on apartments and not bringing the kind of business that will provide high-paying jobs to our residents. In addition, we need the commercial development to help lower the tax burden on homeowners and small business. So again, I'm not against apartments at all, but right now our priorities aren't right. We're building a lot more apartments than are really needed.
All right, perfect. And then, so next we had Tracy. I don't know her last name. It's just Tracy MT. She submitted a lot of questions to both you and to the mayor. And I think you answered a lot of them. You called her, correct?
Yes. Oh, yeah. We've talked, and I'm going to give her some more written answers as well.
Oh, nice. So you're telling me people can actually call you and get some answers?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I love it when they do.
Awesome. Well, but there was one that I think is really good for, it's pertinent to the race and pertinent to McKinney. And she asked Tom, as indicated in a video taken by JM, I don't know who this person is, but you mentioned, this is one that the mayor shared and talked about.
Right.
You mentioned Backroom Deals. What evidence do you have about Backroom Deals? What do you mean by that?
Well, what I mean by that is, again, I've been very active with the city for many years, been on boards, the bond committee, and I've also led a lot of ad hoc efforts getting things, infrastructure type things done on the east side of McKinney for years. And the problem I see with the way we do business is there's too many projects and things that come along that get done with very little or no public input on the front end. And a good example is the one deal that's become very controversial is the Tubbs Brewery deal. And when that was first announced last summer, The initial deal was a $13 million package from MCDC, MEDC, and a couple other parts of the city budget. And the first thing I asked a lot of other business and property owners, hey, did you know about this deal? And the answer was our community didn't know about it. So we had no input on the front end. Nobody knew what was going on a $13 million deal. And another point I'd like to make, I set up a meeting in June of 2019 with my opponent, and there were 50 business and property owners at that meeting. And what we were asking for is representation on one of the funds. It's called the TERS Fund, and all that money comes from part of the property tax and sales tax from downtown businesses. And we were asking for the business community to have 2 seats on that board. These are the folks that are actually putting the money into that fund. And $3.5 million out of that fund became part of the TUPS project. Well, we still don't have that representation on that board to this day. So my point is, we're doing a lot of deals with minimal public input. And to me, that's backdoor deals or backroom deals.
Gotcha. Okay, I think that's pretty good. All right, next one. And by the way, I've gotten a message that sometimes the video is cutting out in the audio, the internet here. We have construction and internet problems,
right.
So we are going to record.
Bear with us, folks.
Yeah, we're going to record this and we're going to post it as well.
Okay.
So every single one will be recorded and posted in high quality. So have no fear. Your questions will be answered. We're in the front room of the pantry, so we're all good. Okay, next question comes from Chris Packa, and this is actually a really poignant one that McKinney has been talking about a lot. What is your stance on the Throckmorton statue is how we put it?
Well, at this point, the city has done a survey of McKinney residents, and a majority of people have voted to keep the statue in place and leave things where they are. And that is definitely my preference as well. And once I get elected to office, we plan on leaving the statue as is. One thing I'd like to point out, and I think it's important to say, it's our history, and good or bad, we need to know what our history is. If anything, my preference would be to add statues going forward and not tear any down.
Awesome. And then Chris actually submitted a second question, and it's on taxes, because, being a conservative and being all about, having lower taxes. What taxes specifically in the city are you talking about having be lowered? Okay,
the specific taxes, that's a great question. That's why previously, and I often talk about building our commercial tax base, because by doing that, not only do we provide a lot of good paying job to our residents, but the business community starts carrying more of the tax load, which will help us reduce property taxes on both residential and small business.
Awesome. And then this one actually just came in, and I think it's pretty timely. I'm going to keep her last name private, but her first name is Isabella. And she says, "Hi, I have a question. It seems that the campaign for mayor is growing in intensity, and our mayor seems to be attacking everyday citizens if they aren't supporting him. What do you tell people in McKinney who fear retribution from our current mayor, and how would you be different?"
Yeah, Isabella, that's a great question, and it's a very timely question. And one of the reasons I'm running is I've attended many city council meetings over the last 4 years. And what I'm seeing is, number one, a not very professional attitude, but I've also seen a lot of people demeaned, talked to in a very negative, aggressive manner in our city chambers. And it's very, very disturbing. And that's one of the reasons I'm running, because this shouldn't be going on in this city. And I can tell you there's a lot of, and we're seeing it in this campaign, there's a lot of intimidation, personal attacks, and that's why I'm running, to stop that. And I'm in this, I'm all in. We're going to keep bringing out the facts and fight this. So we're in this together. I'm going to be out front representing everybody, and we want to move to where we have a more congenial a leadership that respects people and is open to discussing issues. Now, there's been a couple things that have happened just in the last week that have really heated things up, so I want to let all of you know about it. Number one, in the city council chambers last week, my opponent and the mayor pro temp personally attacked me during the city council meeting. Number one, that's against Texas state law. And it's my understanding some people are going to be filing with the Texas Ethics Commission on that. So we'll see what happens there. But again, that's totally uncalled for. They're not just attacking me, they're attacking everybody that supports me. So we've got to fight this. We've got to win this battle and win this election. One more thing that just happened this week as well. The mayor has released a video today, and he's having a gathering this Thursday night, and he's talking about reading personal emails and calling out people in our community. This is just going to ridiculous levels. Again, we're attacking people personally, intimidating them, and this just cannot happen. And that's why we've got to fight it. That's why I'm running. So again, I appreciate everybody's support. I'm backing you 100%. We're not going to let this mayor keep intimidating and attacking people. So I appreciate your support on this. And we're going to keep bringing things out in public, that facts that they may not like, and there's going to be some pushback on, but I'm going to be the person out front representing our community and getting us to a much more respectful and professional leadership going forward.
Awesome. Well, that was actually, those were all the questions that were put in for this Q&A session. So that kind of ends it here, but then we'll be doing this next Monday. So,
great. I'm looking forward to it.
So we're going to make this a thing. So if you're watching, submit questions. The best way to do it is through sending a message to Meredith for McKinney so we can have it in there. We try to go through the comments and see what's going on there. But anything, Tom, that you'd like to finish off on?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody. I know in today's world, we all have busy schedules with work and family. So I appreciate your taking this time today. I look forward to hearing more from you in the next few weeks. And remember, Election Day, it's May 1st. Early voting starts April 19th. I'll be talking to you soon. Thank you.